Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's workshop. I am Dr. Lauren with Healing Touch Chiropractic, and today we are going to be talking about running and how to run smarter, not harder. Running is one of the most accessible forms of exercise that can be done anywhere without any equipment necessary. But it's also shown to be one of the most common activities associated with injuries. Research suggests that up to 50% of runners experience an injury each year that they're training. This can include knee pain, low back pain, shin splints, plantar fasciitis, and torn Achilles. Youch. In most cases, the issue is not that running is hard or harmful, it's that the body is not adequately prepared, supported, or functioning efficiently enough to avoid injury. So today, we are going to cover 3 areas. First off, how to start or refine your running safely and effectively. Number 2, what contributes to most running-related injuries. And 3, my favorite, the role of the nervous system and chiropractic care in performance and injury prevention. So let's get started. First things first, starting and refining your running. This is where I am learning that progression matters way more than motivation. So if you are someone that is training for a marathon, whether it's the Fargo Marathon, the Grandma's Marathon up in Duluth, those are the 2 that I hear most often around here. Whatever event it is that you're training for, your body does not care when the race date is, and it doesn't necessarily matter how motivated you are. If your body is not able to adapt to the extra demands that you ask of it, this is where injury can occur. So one of the most consistent findings in the running research that I have found is that rapid increases in training load significantly increase the injury risk. And then it said that a commonly used guideline is the 10% rule, which suggests that weekly mileage or intensity should not increase by more than about 10%. Because the body adapts to stress over time. So when your progression outpaces your body's ability to adapt, this is where tissues such as your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments can become overloaded, overtired, and potentially lead to injury. Consistency is way more important than intensity. So regular training that is not high intensity and not high mileage is more beneficial than sporadic high intensity and high mileage practices. Running 2 to 4 times per week allows your body to gradually adapt while minimizing excessive fatigue and strain placed on the body. Consistent training also, as we all know, improves cardiovascular fitness as well as tissue resilience and your body's ability to move efficiently with the running form. With that, we're going to go into technique. Technique matters, but perfection is not necessarily required. Because let's be honest, there is no one form of running that is going to magically fit every single person out there. So, a few things that I wanted to touch on that some people may know, but some people may not know that they know. You know? So, first things first, you want to keep your steps light. I see so many people running who just pound their foot into the ground with every step that they've come down on, as well as the one that they push off of. If that is something that you are doing, you are putting so much additional and unnecessary stress on your toes, on your ankle, on your knee, on your hips, therefore the rest of the body that is all supporting. You also want to make sure that your arms are swinging by your sides naturally, nothing needs to be forced, but you do not want them swinging in front of you. that is going to throw off so much momentum. Your body's going to have to work harder to fight that like counteractive force. You want to just swing with it. Help your body move forward. And then you also want to avoid overstriding, which is where your foot lands further in front of its body than your body can actually safely and effectively manage. So even if you're striding super, super far out because you have long legs, unlike myself, you still want to make sure that they are within your body's natural stride. All right, up next is strength training. So runners who include strength training in their training have fewer injuries and better performances. And it's not something that necessarily needs a full gym or a full structured workout. So I have put together just a few key movements and a few key muscle groups. Does not require any equipment, just you and the room that you're in. So the first muscle group that we're going to focus on is the glutes. So I have 2 exercises for the glutes, something as simple as glute bridges, where you are on your back, flat, and you quite literally just lift up your pelvis from the floor, ensuring that your glutes are not touching the floor and that they are engaged, forcing your pelvis up towards the ceiling. You can also do something as simple as body weight squats, or if you are more progressed than body weight, you can add a little bit of weight. But this is really where you want to make sure that you're engaging the correct muscle groups, and especially with squats. This is where a lot of strain goes into the knee because the core and the glutes are not actually helping support the rest of the body weight, and a lot of it is going into the hamstrings, the thighs, and the knees. Something as easy as step-ups, which so many people do naturally throughout a day, is walk up staircases. So if you are training and you walk upstairs on a daily basis, or at least have access to stairs, you can use this to make sure that when you are walking upstairs, that you are engaging those glutes with every single step. If you just have something like a platform that you can do step-ups like they do at a gym where you do one leg, next leg, you can also do that with, again, a staircase or your front steps at your front door, whatever you have access to. Just make sure that it's stable and that you are stable, because the glutes play a big role in the support of everything in your body, as well as the core muscles. So something as easy as planks, just to start engaging the core, which frankly not a lot of people do. Start engaging that core. Doesn't have to be a minute long. You can do 20 to 30 seconds at a time, just so that you can practice engaging the core in a different way, or possibly the only way that your body ever does. So again, planks are when you're face down on the floor and on your elbows, but vice versa, you could also do the dead bug, where you are on your back, you bring your legs, knees bent, legs up to 90 degrees, just to engage that lower portion of your abdomen. 20 to 30 seconds, and you can rest. Again, it doesn't need to be anything massively intense, but if you're somebody who doesn't know how to properly engage your core, some basic exercises such as this, just to essentially turn on the core support system, will be very, very beneficial as you move forward with training. And the last muscle group that I feel might not be as addressed as much is the calves. And this is where the shock absorption and the push off for every single step that you take is coming into play. So calves are very important. Something as simple as calf raises, just lift up. You can do both legs at once. You can do one leg at a time, probably both. Use both legs to warm up and then progress into one at a time. But again, something that you can do on a flat surface or up on a platform where you can let your heels drop a little bit past where the step or the floor would be at, just to create a different dynamic of strength and stretching exercises within those muscle fibers. And then something like a jump rope. Again, whether or not you actually have a jump rope, you could even just imitate what jumping would do. This is where you're also going to practice the soft landing. You don't have to jump and then just smack the floor. This is where you practice the soft and controlled landing, which is going to progress into how you are running. Very, very important. All right, so let's move on to number 2, why runners get injured. So a useful framework for understanding injury is: injury occurs when load exceeds capacity. And that load refers to the physical stress that is placed on the body while running, and capacity refers to the body's ability to tolerate that stress. So when you are asking more of your body than it can actually handle, that is where injuries occur. So some common contributing factors. Again, training errors such as rapid increases in intensity or mileage. Again, some biomechanical efficiencies such as limited hip stability, reduced ankle or knee mobility, and asymmetries between sides of the body. Tissue fatigue. So again, insufficient recovery leading to the cumulative stress that is put on the muscles and connective tissue over time. If they are not able to adapt to that type of stress, this is where injuries likely happen. And then nervous system fatigue. This is often overlooked, but plays a significant role in coordination, timing, and movement quality. So this is where we transition into number 3, nervous system and chiropractic care for performance and injury prevention. The brain and the spinal cord coordinate every single muscle movement in the body. It also coordinates joint motion as well as balance, like I had just discussed. When this system is not functioning optimally, the body then has to compensate, which can then lead to increased stress on specific tissues. So, we see a lot of changes with people who are focused on performance specifically, where they say that their body's awareness of position and movement is changed and improved. Their muscle activation patterns don't fatigue quite as easily, and they're more adaptable to pushing each training session, and they don't feel as sore. And they also see a difference in a balance and their coordination. And a lot of that is also from just the strength training that's involved. It's not necessarily done during the runs itself. It's what you do to prepare for those runs. Chiropractic adjustments have been shown in research to improve joint mobility. I feel like that's probably the most aware one. Also influence neuromuscular control, because if we are getting the brain to communicate better with the body and vice versa, the way that they're going to communicate and therefore control the muscles is going to improve. Also, it's going to enhance the proprioceptive input, so where your body feels more balanced and coordinated. And for runners specifically, like I said, there's more efficiency in movement patterns. There's also way reduced joint stress, the better adaptation to fatigue, as well as, a bumpy surface versus a super hard surface versus you get to play with all of those in a certain run. Their adaptation is way better. And there's just a lower risk of the overuse injuries. So the role of chiropractic care in the running journey. So for beginners, it's going to support adaptation to this whole new physical stress that you may be putting on your body. Yes, most people are up and moving to some degree, but running is the next step to movement. And if your body isn't quite adequately prepared, chiropractic care is going to help your body adapt to that new step. It is also going to help establish efficient movement patterns. It's going to help improve the body's awareness early so that poor habits do not get reinforced time after time after time. And it's going to support recovery as your body adjusts to this new level of activity. So not as much soreness, not as much pain in general, and your body's fatigue level is not going to hit rock bottom. Like, what is it? I think it's usually around week 2 where people start to kind of fizzle out. For those of you who are actively running and have been for a while, it is going to help you maintain joint mobility. It is going to continue to support recovery and performance. We are going to identify dysfunction before it becomes symptomatic. So if we are seeing something thrown off in the hips or something thrown off in the knee, like I mentioned earlier, everything from the toes to the ankles to the knees to the hips, that all supports everything above it. And if something is thrown off, everything else can start to get kind of lopsided, but your body's going to have to compensate. So we can catch things before they become symptomatic, like pain. We don't need to experience pain. We're also going to optimize symmetry and balance to reduce the uneven wear and tear on the body and support nervous system efficiency so that your movement can stay clean and avoid fatigue. For injured runners, chiropractic care is going to address the underlying functional issue. So if you are someone that continues to get injured year after year while training, not only is all this information going to be incredibly helpful, but chiropractic care itself is going to assist in restoring proper movement patterns, reducing the compensation patterns that occur after injury. I mean, as someone as easy as spraining an ankle and they get put in a boot, I mean, that just throws everything else off. You're going to have to put some more weight on the other foot because you're not supposed to put weight on the foot, but you have a boot to do it if you need to. Injuries can really lead to a ton of stuff. It's also going to support a safer return to running by improving overall function and not just masking and band-aiding the pain. So, we all know that running provides significantly improved benefits for cardiovascular health, the mental well-being, and overall longevity. However, the long-term success depends on the body's ability to withstand the excess physical stress and the nervous system stress that we are asking the body to go through. So some key takeaways from today. Progress matters way more than motivation. You've got to start incorporating strength training alongside just the running training itself. And you need to pay attention to functions, not just symptoms. If something is not functioning correctly, pain is one of the last symptoms to appear. So if you feel like something is off, come get checked out because you know your body the best. And if you feel like something's off, then it probably is. So we want to catch that before it leads to symptoms. A well-functioning body allows for more consistent, efficient, and enjoyable movement. So if you're preparing, again, for the Fargo Marathon or any race this upcoming summer, now is the time to make sure that your body is actually ready and not just kind of hoping that it holds up throughout your training season. If you're currently running, considering starting, or you're dealing with recurring pain, functional assessment here at Healing Touch Chiropractic can absolutely add value to the way that you are training, and which is going to translate into your daily lives. So come see us, get your body back to where you want it to be so that you can do the things that you want to do. And again, if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to message us or comment on this workshop. And good luck to all of the runners participating in the Fargo Marathon this year. We hope that you have a great race, and we will see you guys in our office soon. Bye.